What makes a Christmas movie? This question has been asked since the dawn of all Christmas movies. Probably, depending on who you ask, the answer will also change. My answer, or in other words, the right answer? The movie just has to have something to do with Christmas, even if it's just something small. Now, with this new information, we can begin to ask another, more important question. What is the best Christmas movie? My answer, or in other words, still the right answer, it would have to be the... If you have poked around online circles discussing this movie, you will likely already know just how high its praises are sung. Hold this 94% on Rotten Tomatoes. I struggle to find aspects of this movie to glaze that have not already been glazed 1,000 times before, but if anything, that just speaks to what a phenomenal job Kyoto Animation and all the other staff involved did in executing damn near every single detail in this film. But there's a reason I've made a habit out of revisiting this movie every December, and why I hold onto it as the GOAT Christmas movie and one of my favorite movies regardless of the medium. This movie's strengths as it pertains to the Christmas season go way beyond the simple fact that its setting is around Christmas time. The core themes established throughout the film and through our protagonist in Kyon resonate not only when viewing this movie as a piece of art on its own, but also in relating it back to ideas and perspectives that you can take and apply to our own lives. As we come to know through this film, but mostly through the 2 seasons of anime that come before it, Kyon often gets irritated by Haruhi Suzumiya and a lot of the supernatural bullshit she brings in her wake. He often complains about his lack of a normal life since coming into contact with Haruhi. And hey, I'd be annoyed too if I had to balance schoolwork with dealing with aliens, time travelers, espers, or whatever this big-ass cricket thing was. In short, Kyon appears to be of the opinion that this SOS Brigade stuff is absolutely not for him. And so it stops. And when Haruhi Suzumiya disappears, the visuals in this movie let us know just how much of a blow that really is to Kyon's world as he knows it. His classmates become sick and less energetic. Both the actual temperature and the tone of this movie becomes more cold, more dull. The colors that were previously present in the old world literally fade away in this new one where Haruhi is seemingly nowhere to be found. To make matters worse, all of Kyon's closest friends in the SOS Brigade seem to either be also missing or perhaps even more distressful, they have no recollection of who Kyon is. Also, this evil alien bitch who tried to murder Kyon is back and everyone is acting like it's fine. Kyon reasonably begins to tweak the fuck out and thus begins his quest to discover why the world changed around him overnight. I love Yuki Nagato. This film plays a huge part in that sentiment, although even in the episodic anime, I had already tagged her as my favorite SOS Brigade member and one of my favorite characters in anime, period. Perhaps this is why I had no issue with the revelation that this movie, despite its title, is not about Haruhi Suzumiya. This movie is just as much, if not more so, about Yuki Nagato as it is about Kyon. As Kyon begins to slowly unravel what has become of the world through hints that his world's alien Nagato leaves behind for him, he is pulled from his initial despair, and through the assistance of his classmates and this new world's human Yuki, he is able to gather every version of this world's brigade members and activate the emergency exit program, giving him the opportunity to leave behind this new, albeit normal world in an attempt to restore the things and the people that he had become accustomed to during his time with his world's SOS Brigade. And although he hesitates for just a moment to think, Kyon, for the most part, has already made up his mind, which makes this scene where he turns down Human Nagato's literature club invitation even more heartbreaking. Like, dog, just look at Nagato's character acting here. Oh my god. Kyon presses that enter key, which leads us to, and I mean this with no hyperbole whatsoever, one of the greatest animated sequences I've ever seen. That being Kyon. While there are some time travel shenanigans that happen in the time between Kyon leaving the altered world and returning to the past of his original one, but I'm not trying to be one of those content slop movie recap channels. I assume if you're even still watching this video, you've already seen the movie and the anime, and if you haven't seen either and you're still watching, I highly recommend checking both out, but as you're already this deep, you might as well just keep watching. But I digress. Kyon's internal conflict throughout the movie culminates in this absolutely gorgeous scene. I mean, the whole movie is easy on the eyes, but this stretch of visuals alongside Kyon's voice actor's amazing performance is part of the reason why this film is regarded as a masterpiece by so many people. The scene centers around a choice for Kyon to make: stay in this new, ordinary world, free of supernatural occurrences, or delete all that and return to the old, unpredictable, supernatural-infested world. It is in the process of making this decision where Kyon dissects just what exactly led to Yuki Nagato wanting to change the world, and in the end, he boils it down to Nagato, as a result of all the pressure put on her in the many misadventures of the SOS Brigade, developing feelings, in spite of her being an artificial humanoid interface. Kyon realizes that he has been reckless, taking advantage of Nagato's great power and shifting any major problems to the back of his mind with the assumption that Nagato would always be there to take care of it. Now understanding where he fell short in the past, Kyon takes full responsibility that he was taking Nagato for granted. Another great payoff that occurs during Kyon's decision is the reflection motif. This movie plays around with mirrored images a lot, mostly in windows of school or in Nagato's apartment or on a variety of other glossy surfaces. But it is in this segment where Kyon truly reflects on himself, takes a look at his past actions, and comes to terms with his inner conflict. Haruhi and all the supernatural bullshit she brought in her wake, of course it irritated Kyon. But to say that he enjoyed none of it, to act like none of it was fun, in Kyon's own words, anyone who thought that way would have to be 30 times more dense than Haruhi herself. So, Kyon makes his decision, choosing to return to his chaotic, annoying, yet fun old life over the normal world that Nagato had created. After passing out to a stab wound in a scene that will, at this rate unfortunately, never get an animated resolution, Kyon wakes back up in the original world. Koizumi by his side, explaining to him that apparently he had just taken a nasty fall down some stairs at the school and was out for 3 whole days. This scene does a fantastic job in solidifying the brigade members' care for each other. We learn that they have all been taking shifts, watching over Kyon, with Haruhi never leaving his side at all. And I think Kyon gains some solace in reconnecting with his friends as they all begin to funnel into the hospital room. Well, all but one of them, that is. Yuki Nagato isn't there. The next time Kyon sees Nagato, it's on a rooftop at night overlooking the city lights. The two discuss many of the things Kyon thought about during his own self-reflection, including the key aspect that, although she recreated the world, Nagato essentially put the final say-so in his hands. Kyon is finally able to apologize to Yuki face-to-face, taking accountability for his own negligence. He is finally able to let Nagato know that she is cherished not just by him, but by all the brigade members. Despite this, Nagato mentions how, due to her abnormalities, or what Kyon identified as Yuki's feelings, the integrated data sentient entity likely intends on removing her from this world to avoid any more possible errors. And Kyon responds to this by telling her to tell her boss to eat a big old bag of donkey dicks. Well, he doesn't say that exactly, but he does make it known to the integrated data sentient entity that if they try to take Yuki from them, the SOS Brigade will raise all hell to get her back. The rooftop scene does so many things right. For starters, I've always been a fan of the Haruhi OST, both in the series and in this movie, but this movie in particular makes great use out of Eric Satie's gymno.
This would be said as gymnopédie.
Yeah, that one, as evident in this scene. Nagato is animated so well here. Despite this being Alien Nagato 2, obviously a much less expressive version of her human variation, you can tell Kyon's words get through to her and mean something to her through details like the glimmer in her eyes when Kyon says that he's sorry. Also, Kyon says Yuki in reference to it starting to snow, but also Nagato's first name is Yuki.
That's called motherfucking boy!
In all seriousness, even though Kyon was the one to turn down Yuki's recreated world, here he proves to her that there's no vitriol between them and that he has learned from his past mistakes. Kyon makes it known that Yuki is important to the SOS Brigade and that he appreciates her. And for that, Yuki thanks him. The day after his talk with Nagato on the roof, Kyon awakes on the morning of December 24th in a shot that mirrors the beginning of the film as he talks and walks us through the immediate fallout of the disappearance of Haruhi Suzumiya. The world has its color again, there's upbeat music reminiscent of the very first episode of the Haruhi anime in which Kyon coincidentally monologues about the trivial act of believing in Santa Claus. It all brings me full circle as to why this is my favorite, and thus the best Christmas movie. As Kyon walks to the SOS Brigade club room, he understands that more supernatural bullshit is bound to happen. But instead of being angry at that fact, he has made peace with it. This is the more interesting world that he himself chose, after all. And before he walks into the club room, in a line that is almost too on the nose given that this was the last non-spin-off anime adaptation made for the Haruhi Suzumiya series, Kyon looks down the camera and asks the world if it minds waiting for him. Just a bit. At least until after he gets to try Haruhi's Christmas Hot Pot. I absolutely adore this movie. I mean, duh, I just talked for a whole video about it. And no matter all my pseudo-intellectualisms, there is no way I can do this movie justice by just talking about it. I will always want more people to check out a classic series like Haruhi, and I understand that some people don't have the time to stomach 2 seasons, including Endless 8, yes, the whole thing, just to get the most out of this movie. So although I highly recommend both the Haruhi anime as well as this movie, if there's one thing to take away from this vid, take away some of the things that Kyon takes away from the events of this movie. Especially during the holiday season, I think it's important to think about the people around you, your family, your friends, your loved ones. Maybe think of ways that you could have been potentially taking them for granted, even if it's just the little things. Let those close to you know that you care, whether it be through an exchange of gifts or an exchange of words. I hope you guys have a very Merry Christmas, and until the next one, peace.